think the outlook is for Wednesday?
Jimmy did go through practice, which was really beneficial. He will not play tomorrow, but he is definitely making progress. Dwayne also practiced. And then we'll have to see how he feels tomorrow before we can make any determination. And everybody else is pretty much the same status as they were before.
Because Bam has been working, we've seen him, even with the splint, shooting with that closer, a lot closer, imminent, weekend?
That's a lot of different things. I don't know. Put him in any one of those.
Pick one, multiple choice, Erik.
No, we're just happy that he's been able to basically work since 3 days after the surgery. He's basically been doing everything, conditioning, getting up and down the court. From that standpoint, he's been very involved, and I think that's been really good for him, his spirits, his positivity, and it's been great for us having him around, especially on this last road trip. He's still leading and encouraging guys, and when you see him working, it's hard not to just get encouraged and also inspired.
Is Markieff sort of a setback because he seemed close? He practiced with you guys in Phoenix. He was with you. I mean, is that just the way this year is?
No, you guys are jumping to all these assumptions. It's one of the 5 agreements, right? Don't make assumptions. He's making progress. It was great to have him with us and practicing the other day, and we'll just keep on moving forward. And when we have the next update, on him and what his timeline will be, I'll let you guys know.
So the quirk in the schedule, you guys were just on the road 5 days on the West Coast. You have another road game coming, but because of 3 consecutive days off, being able to come home in between that, just what's that dynamic like of being able to come here even though you're going back on the road playing another game? Just can you speak about just how that dynamic what's going on now?
It's a beautiful association. We love being able to do this. There are always going to be some scheduling quirks, for every team. You're going to be on the road, for 41 games. So when you have 30 teams that you have to try to arrange all the different schedules, there's going to be something, that'll be a little bit odd. The upside of this is we were able to spend 2 days with our families, which we all maximized that. We were able to have a good practice today, and we'll get on to to this game to Atlanta tomorrow.
You even told us back in September how you liked this team's depth, even though bottom half of the roster didn't have a ton of NBA body of work. Has it even in your mind exceeded what you thought? Because no one would have known that Omer would come in and be a 12 rebound a game guy for 12 games in a row. So has exceeded a bit.
Sounds like you're trying to lead me to that.
No,
I want to. We all wanted to be open, to the possibilities. We knew coming out of training camp that this was a very deep team, regardless of whatever the thoughts were anywhere else. We've seen it. We had basically a full summer development program again, which we weren't able to do last year because of the bubble. It felt normal, in our gym and developing guys, and we saw the progress of these guys and how much they improved in their confidence level. And then it played out in training camp, extremely competitive scrimmages. And we're going to need all of that depth. When you're trying to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, you need everybody.
If God willing, everyone is healthy at some point. I know Vic is down the road. And we've asked you this in the past, but could it be a case where you have so many playable NBA players ultimately that it could be a matchup thing as opposed to a set rotation?
We'll get there. I know a lot of people are concerned about that. These are high-class challenges. And those challenges we won't have to necessarily get to tomorrow. That's where our focus was today in practice. There was an incredible spirit and enthusiasm. The gym was alive because you see everybody working. And basically everybody today, all the way down the roster, was able to do something that required a big-time sweat today. And that was very encouraging and uplifting.
The decision to bring Kyle Guy back, just again, what have you seen from him, and having him around this locker room seems like he fits in very nicely.
He's a gamer. His skill level is great. I think what's underrated about him is the competitor, that he is. People probably just assume that he's just a shooter, but he does a lot of other things that can impact a game, for you. We enjoy having him around. Our scouting department has liked him, for a long time. So we feel very fortunate that we're able to acquire him on these 2 days, and he's been helping us.
Spoke with Amara over the last month. Where do you think he's made his biggest developmental leap?
Yeah, it would be hard to say one area. I think the biggest thing with him has been the development that now you're able to apply to games. So that game experience is something that, as much as we try to check every single box in our player development program, you can't check the game experience against real live NBA competition. He's adjusted to the physicality and also the speed and quickness of guards in pick and rolls, which if you're a center in this game now, you're going to have to defend 30 to 40 pick and rolls every single game. And we have multiple coverages, so he's learning, those coverages and where he can be effective and still protect the paint, protect the rim for us. And then, of course, UD, even from afar, and Malik are always going to be hammering him about rebounding in traffic, and he's been doing that at an extremely high level.
He was playing a lot of zone early on in his first couple stints, and he's been largely man lately. And you mentioned, there's a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of good point guards out there, and there have been possessions where it might get a little lost. But how do you think he's responded to the little failures possession to possession?
Yeah, that's developing that emotional stability. That this league is tough. It really is. And then centers, in that pick and roll game is so center involved. Every team you're going to be bringing up your center into 60-70% of your pick and rolls. So you're going to have to develop something, and like I said, we have multiple schemes, so he's learning a lot of different things and adjusting to the speed and quickness and skill level at this level with guards with the ball. And then also adjusting to the size and physicality and force under the rim of big guys. And he's been making those necessary adjustments as the season has been going on.
I know you made clear to us, obviously, that Duncan's a starter, and you were just trying to weave him back after the time off. Do you know in your mind, I'm not sure you're willing to share it with us, but do you know in your mind when you might go back to that group with Duncan with the first group?
Yeah, I don't know. Right now we are living day to day where we all should be living. Now that's not always realistic. When you have everybody healthy, ultimately you want to try to get to a consistent rotation. We are not at that point right now. It is all hands on deck. Whoever can play, help us. Let's try to get this next win. And our lineups and rotations have been all over the place because guys have been in and out of the lineups. I wouldn't read too much into anything right now. We're trying to survive in advance. And different games may call for different things. And we'll try to communicate the best that we can with that. But these are uncommon times right now. And we just have to keep on forging ahead, knowing that more depth and talent will be coming back soon. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Erik.